In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to actually get all the villagers and all their trades in Minecraft. Now, this video will go over how to actually obtain each specific villager, what their trades are going to be, and how to max them out. Starting off, there are a total of 13 different workstations that a villager can have. So, a villager can actually only have one workstation, but there are 13 different ones, meaning that you will need at least 13 different villagers to actually have all the varieties of villagers. Now, looking in this box, as you can see, we have all of them right here. There is the composter, the barrel, the blast furnace, the loom, the fletching table, the smithing table, the stone cutter, the grindstone, the cartography table, the brewing stand, the cauldron, the lectern, and the smoker. And all of these will actually lead to a different villager and different trades. To actually use one of these tables, what you're going to need to do is find a jobless villager just like so, and put the table right next to them. And they will go up to it and transform. Once you have seen them transform, it worked. And you can click on their trades and see what they have to offer. Now, if you actually don't trade with him and break the table, he will lose his job, which is useful because you can switch out their profession, or if they accidentally selected a random one, just like this farmer, you just break it and switch it with something else. Now I'm going to be showing you guys how to actually craft all of these. If you want to do this yourself in your world, what you can do is click off the show craftable and type in the name. So as an example, what I can do is the loom. Now this will cost 2 of any planks and 2 string. The composter will actually require any 7 slabs, just like this formation. The barrel will cost 6 planks and 2 slabs, just like this. The stone cutter will require 6 stone and 1 iron ingot. To craft the grindstone, what you're gonna need is 1 stone slab, 2 sticks, and 2 planks. To craft the cartography table, what you're gonna need is 4 planks and 2 pieces of paper. To craft the smithing table, you're gonna need 4 planks and 2 iron. To craft a blast furnace, what you're gonna need is 3 smooth stone and 5 iron ingots plus a furnace. To craft the fletching table, what you're gonna need is 4 planks and 2 pieces of flint. To craft a brewing stand, what you're gonna need is blackstone or cobblestone plus a blaze rod. To craft the smoker, what you're gonna need is 4 of any wood, log, or stripped wood, and a furnace in the middle. To craft a lectern, what you're gonna need is a bookshelf and 4 wooden slabs. To craft a cauldron, what you're gonna need is 7 iron ingots. Now, let's move on to what each of these do, starting off with the brewing stand. Now, villager trades are actually randomized, so one villager can have such trade and another villager could have a slightly different change in trades. But as you can see, this is a clerk. It is a master, which means it's maxed out, and the clerk actually trades all types of brewing things, like redstone, glowstone, XP bottles, that type of stuff. Now, his max trade is a bottle of enchanting, which provides a really quick and easy XP. Now moving on to the weaponsmith. Now the weaponsmith sells all types of weapons, like swords and axes. His best trade is actually the diamond axe and diamond sword, and these have random enchantments on it. So depending on which villager you have, you can get a random enchantment. But if you wanted to, you can always disenchant these at the grindstone that you have made for him. Now moving on to the Fletcher. Now the Fletcher sells all types of bows and arrows. Now his best trades are enchanted crossbows or bows and arrows with sometimes potion effects. Now moving on to the cartographer. Now the cartographer sells all things maps. He sells basic empty maps, all the way to Ocean Explorer maps, which locates monuments, and Woodland Explorer maps, which actually show you guys woodland mansions. And his maxed out trade is the banner pattern of a globe, which, if you didn't know, it looks like this. And the banner pattern is completely renewable, so you can constantly use it on the loom. Now moving on to the actual shepherd, which the shepherd sells all things wool, like chairs, wool, beds, banners, and paintings. Now his maxed out trade is actually paintings, but I actually think his best trade is the beds, just because beds are used for killing the Ender Dragon, which helps you actually obtain a lot of beds with one villager. But moving on is actually the farmer. Now the farmer sells all things food, stuff like bread, pumpkin pie, apples, and cookies. But his maxed out trades are the golden carrot and the glistening melon slice. The glistening melon slice can actually be used for brewing, and the golden carrot can be used for eating. Now the golden carrot actually gives you 3 hunger bars per 1 carrot, which is really good, and I would recommend this villager for all your food. Now moving on to the fisherman. Now the fisherman sells all things fishing, like fish and fishing rods. Now his maxed out trades is a boat for an emerald. Now this trade is really good because it basically means 5 wood for 1 emerald, which is insanely good. But moving on to the butcher. Now the butcher sells all things in meat. He's got some pork chops, some stew, stuff like that. And his master trade is trading sweet berries for emeralds. Now this is really good because you can have an automatic berry farm, or if you actually live in a taiga biome, you can get these emeralds really easily. Anyways, now we're moving on to the armor. Now the armor is one of the best ones because he actually sells all types of armor, including diamonds and chainmail. Now chainmail is obviously really hard to get, and diamond, you obviously have to try to find diamonds and you have to waste all your diamonds on armor. But with this villager, you can just basically use emeralds and get all the diamond armor you need. Now this is all randomly enchanted, but you can of course unenchant it, which basically makes diamond armor fully renewable, which is really useful. Now moving on all the way to the librarian. Now the librarian is probably the best villager that you can actually get because it sells all enchantment books. Now obviously you're gonna need a lot of librarians if you want every single book, since villagers only trade about 3 books. So you're gonna need to get multiple villagers if you want a specific book. But this is actually really useful because you can get all the hard to obtain enchantments from this one villager. So this is by far the best villager because it gives you one of the best things. And its master trade is a name tag, so you can actually just name all your pets or anything that you basically need. But now we're going all the way to the toolsmith. The toolsmith sells all things tools, like hoes, axes, shovels, and pickaxes. Now they even sell diamond ones with the random enchantments. As you can see, the master trade is the diamond pickaxe, but there is also a shovel, an axe, and a hoe. Now this is really useful because now you can just basically get all the diamond tools with some little enchantments on them for very little emeralds, which is very useful for getting your full set of diamond armor without spending any diamonds. But now we're moving on to the mason. Now the mason actually trades all sorts of stuff like blocks and bricks. But his master trade is one of the hardest blocks to get, which is quartz. Now quartz is actually hard to get because there's not a lot of it in the nether, and you would have to travel far once you cleared out a majority of the quartz near your portal. But this villager actually saves you time by being able to buy a block for an emerald. But now moving on to the last one, which is the leather worker. Now the leather worker trades in all things leather, like dyed leather armor and even saddles. Now saddles are normally not craftable, but you can actually find them with this villager. Instead of having to go through dungeons and that type of stuff, you can easily buy them from one villager, leading to an easy saddle supply. And lastly is the Wandering Trader. The Wandering Trader normally spawns around the player, and it actually gives a bunch of different trades. It normally comes with 2 llamas and drinks an invisible potion at nighttime. But if we actually trade with him, he has all these trades. Right here, he has glowstone, a nautilus shell, a fern, a yellow dye, lime dye, and podzil. Just a random assortment of things. And as you can see on screen, he has a lot of these things. And if you kill him when he has llamas attached to him, he will actually drop 2 leads. But that is actually all the types of villagers that we have here. There is a ton of them, and I would really recommend you start villager trading at any time, because it's basically a really easy way to get some of the hardest materials in Minecraft. But anyways, that's the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Only 5% of you guys are subscribed, but I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.